Welcome to the Scottish Formula Ford Championship and the Formula Junior Series this weekend at Knockhill Racing Circuit for the SMRC September race meeting. And yeah, 2 grids for the price of 1. That's pretty handy. The Formula Juniors visiting series this weekend. They nestle in the back of the Formula Ford grid, and Jordan GRONKOWSKI and Matt Chisholm are at the front row of the grid with Logan Hanna and Neil Broom and Steve Barlow. What can Neil Broom do? Can he upset the apple cart? Jordan GRONKOWSKI, quite a lot riding on this weekend because Jordan only has to get a couple of points, handful of points, and he will win the Scottish Formula Ford Championship. So let's see exactly how this unfolds for him just now. Going through the start sequence just now, the boards on the side of the grid going through, getting ready for starters orders. Here we go, the lights coming on the bridge and on the starters gantry. Revs rise. And here we go. Who will get the jump down towards the hairpin? Away they go, and Jordan GRONKOWSKI makes a perfect start. Matt Chisholm's a little bit late off the line there, and Logan Hanna looks like she could possibly jump Chisholm going in towards the hairpin, but Chisholm defends. He had to defend, and GRONKOWSKI holds a nice, comfortable lead all the way through that first corner, and that was pretty much straightforward stuff for Jordan GRONKOWSKI. He'll be happy with that one as the Formula Juniors all just about get through there. A big sideways moment at the back there. I think that was RBM, Richard Bishop Miller, in car number 22. Look at the speed of these Formula 4s going through though. And Formula Junior, well, effectively one of the first Formula or single-seater classes ever invented. An old class. These cars hark way back to the late 50s. In fact, some of these cars, lovely little shaped cars. When you get close up to them, very tidy. Getting driven hard, but not as hard as these cars at the front. The very modern Formula Ford 1600 cars up over the top of Duffus Dip, and Jordan GRONKOWSKI leads the way from Matthew Chisholm and Logan Hanna as Neil Broom homes into the back of Logan as they go over the crest of the hill, head towards hairpin. Logan defends and inside. Broom's trying to go around the outside here. This is a brave move from number 3 Neil Broom, but Logan Hanna ultimately holds inside line. Neil then tries to cut back through the heart of the corner, and this is where we'll pick them up as they come round towards Clark. Jordan GRONKOWSKI in the Angel Wax 33 Van Diemen leads away, but we want to see what's happening for the next battle, and that looks like Neil Broom has managed to get past Logan Hanna. Yes, Neil Broom takes that position, so Logan now looking at the back of that battleship grey Ray as they go through the chicane, and all the floppies take note. Other series still intact just now. Let's see what happens as they get further in towards the race though. As they come through the tricky section, which is McIntyre's, Leslie's, and then over the top of Duffus where you're pinned flat. Harry flatters, foot to the boards as you come over the crest of the hill there, head towards that Beatson's Building Supply Bridge, and then crack onto another lap. The hairpin, probably the most favourite place for people to overtake, and look at Neil Broom, he's so strong on the brakes, all the way in there, very committed going in. Maybe just starting to line up Matthew Chisholm. Let's see how this one unfolds as Chisholm still holds that position as we look further back down into the Formula Juniors as they all come through underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge and head towards the hairpin as well. Oh, Matt Chisholm dicing with the exit curb there at the exit of Clark's. There wasn't a lot left on the table, that's for sure. Shows you how hard Matt Chisholm is trying, because that incoming number 3 Ray of Neil Broom does like this way. He does like going around the circuit this direction. Obviously, his car absolutely set up in the operating window where it needs to be is one of the very slow Formula Junior cars there. Going a little bit too slow actually. Was that Richard? I think that was Bishop Miller actually. As they just get engulfed on the main straight. Steve Barlow decides to slide past as well. And that car doesn't sound just quite right, to tell you the truth. Not the Barlow car. I was talking about the number 22 that just went through the shop there. As we pick up with number 9, Logan Hanna towards Clark Corner. Currently in 4th position, and the battle all kind of concertining up now. As we look at it, we got through the shot goes your leader, then 2nd, 3rd and 4th all come through together with a little gap back to Stevie Barlow as the juniors make their way through. Oh, Neil Broom trying pretty hard now, collects a floppy at the chicane there, so that race control will be watching that. If he does that anymore, he will be getting a bit of a slap on the wrists. He won't be wanting to catch any time penalties because he needs to catch that man in front of him directly now, which is Matt Chisholm. But eyes on the prize further up the road, the race victory. He wants that. As into the hairpin, Chisholm defends, going, well, not defending really. He's going past the number 25 car, which is Bernard Brock there. And Bernard doing a great job of staying out of the way. in his Elba 100. As the rest of the juniors start coming through the twisty part of the circuit now. Car number 4 is Graham Barron. Graham, a long time Formula Junior racer, makes his way through McIntyre's, and that's the Gemini Mark II 1000cc car, 1 litre car, as he makes his way up over the top of Duffy's Dip, and somebody very cautiously coming through Clark's there, because yeah, the Formula Fords are being pretty ruthless with this traffic. They're catching the juniors, and the speed difference is quite high actually, to tell you the truth, as we see them coming up the top of Duffy's now. And Gronkowski's lead has just disappeared just a little bit now, as they've all got past the swarming pack of Formula Juniors. Matt Chisholm's managed to wriggle away a little bit from Neil Broom, and in turn Logan Hanna's dropped off the back. And I feel like they'll catch back up. Steve Barlow just in that annoying position where he's just off the back, not close enough, wants to be closer, but starting to lose the toe. As we see 1, 2, 3, 4 flash through the shot now. And this is a view from the middle of the circuit, looking down from the commentary box effectively, the Gary Stagg commentary tower. And there's a car in the gravel next to the Clarks. We've got waved yellow flags. As through goes Steve Barlow, he misses that. That's car number 4. Number 4, disaster. We were just talking about Graham Barron a minute ago. So Graham's overcooked it at Clark Corner, and he's managed to find himself the gravel trap, but he rejoins. And look at this now. Up behind car number 77, Vernon Williamson, trying to go round him, goes Jordan Gronkowski. He does. He manages to just get past, and that was pretty close there, nip and tuck to get through, but Matthew Chisholm got through as well. Neil Broom didn't get through. He got through in the exit of the corner, and Vernon trying to basically stay out the way in the Lynx T3. Thomas Anstis is the next one further up the road, and a big lock up in towards the hairpin, so these guys are starting to push even harder now. As they all make their way through the hairpin, Barlow can also see that they're not really starting to get away, which is a great thing for Steve Barlow. As heading towards Clark Corner goes Jordan Gronkowski, chased by Matthew Chisholm. If Jordan Gronkowski gets a good result in this race, we know he takes the championship, and that will be weighing heavily on his mind right now. He's been at this a long time. The championship's eluded him so many times, and all the way back to the days of karting, Jordan, when he made the switch into circuit racing, actually started racing minis. And not a lot of people know that. He started racing minis with F Motorsport. He was awarded a scholarship in the Mini Cooper Cup back in the day. Seems like a long time ago now, to tell you the truth. And it was Alexander Forrest scholarship. He got the AGF scholarship all those years ago. But right now, in towards the hairpin, Jordan Gronkowski leads the way. The Bryce Wilson master effect has probably worked well coming into single-seaters from those early days with F Motorsport. And look at this, Chisholm's now having to start looking in his mirrors, and that's exactly what Jordan Gronkowski wants. He wants to not have too much pressure behind him. If Matthew Chisholm's soaking up the pressure, it really releases Jordan to do his own thing as they come through Clark Corner. But they can't rest on their laurels just now, because Logan Hanna in 4th place, desperate for another podium. That young lady getting faster and faster every meeting, as in towards McIntyre's goes Gronkowski. I believe that is Thomas Anstis just ahead of them, and the Lotus 2022, not the year it was built by the way, the Lotus, the very iconic green and yellow livery. It just looks how a Lotus should look, as up the inside goes Gronkowski, and Thomas stays very far on the right hand side, right out of the way. Don't blame him for that. He's still got mirrors, the Formula Junior, and he would be very aware of what was happening around him there. As we come towards Clark Corner now, Gronkowski is about to slide past another one. So this is something that's new for the Formula 4 drivers. They are not normally battling so much traffic out there, but the traffic is quite considerable. Let's hope it doesn't pay... Logan Hanna almost gets caught out there. Let's hope it doesn't pay too much attention towards the actual result of this race, as Gronkowski now starting to put a bit of a gap, and Jordan really does seem strong through that twisty section of the track. As they make the way up the hill, Gronkowski's about to go round the outside. Blue flags waving. Jordan gets taken very wide there, and he's almost off the road. And a disaster for Jordan Gronkowski there. He loses the lead. He's going to lose 2nd place as well. Down to 3rd place goes Jordan Gronkowski. Just gets caught on the wrong side of a back marker at the top of Duffy's Dip there, and he goes from 1st to 3rd, and that puts Matt Chisholm into the lead. Can Chisholm hold the lead and get this victory towards the end of the race? Going to be pretty exciting as they head round towards Clark's just now, but I guarantee the driver in that number 33, Van Diemen, will be absolutely spitting feathers right now as they go down through Clark's. What has Jordan Gronkowski got left in the tank, as Neil Broom now runs out of road as he goes through Clark Corner? You can see just how hard he's trying. And yeah, now the floppies are all completely gone. Broom hits the sausage curb very hard at the chicane there as they come back in towards McIntyre's. He's starting to almost overdrive in his assault onto the back of the gearbox of Matthew Chisholm. But look how quick Neil Broom is through the top of Duffus here. He is right in the slipstream underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge. He pulls to the inside, but Matthew Chisholm saw that move coming and looks like he covered that one off as they went over the crest of the hill, meaning Neil Broom would have to go round the outside of him on the brakes at the hairpin. Not an easy manoeuvre that as Steve Barlow crosses the line, and then car number 22, that's RBM, Richard Bishop Miller as we come towards Clark's. Look how close these guys are now. Neil Broom did manage to get to the front as well. There we go. News alert, Broom hits the front. And Chisholm tries to come back as much as he possibly can as they head down towards the chicane, which really isn't an overtaking place. They come through there, they bounce over the top of the sausage curbs and start to climb back up into McIntyre's. Jordan Gronkowski hovering about the back of that LD200 gearbox, which is bolted onto the back of that Ford engine in the back of the red Van Diemen. It is Matthew Chisholm, but it's a Ray that leads the way just now. Chisholm in second place. Neil Broom has timed this absolutely perfectly as he comes up over the crest of the hill. And he's got another lap to try and hold it off as Chisholm now defends from Gronkowski. Gronkowski tries to go the long way round at the hairpin. That's not going to work. Matthew Chisholm's been here before. He does know how to defend. Having said that, though, Neil Broom set him up going in towards the hairpin and managed to cover that one off by the time they got to Clark Corner. But Chisholm, once bitten, twice shy, will not be wanting to give that way. Jordan Gronkowski has a look at Clark's. He has a big lock-up, but he has to bail out of that one. You can see the tyre mark left on the track there. Quite clearly, he had to get off the gas with that as they come through and down the back straight towards the chicane. Over the chicane, this is a very impressive drive and a good run from Neil Broom here as they come back up in towards McIntyre's. He's covering off all his options. He can see a Formula Junior ahead of him, so he's bound to be terrified as they come up to lap them, as they all close up as they go through Leslie's and over the crest of Duffus Dip. Onto the straight now. Neil Broom weaving about in the slipstream, picks up a little slipstream from Vinnie Williams, and there's a checker flag, and it's a victory for Neil Broom. Second place for Matthew Chisholm, third place for Jordan Gronkowski. Logan Hanna we see coming across the line in fourth place, with Steve Barlow finishing up in fifth. Thomas Anstis takes the victory for Formula Juniors, ahead of Vernon Williams and Graham Barron.
Well done, Neil. Race one victory there. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the result we were looking for. It was we came in today in as a game of survival and just see what came out of it. And yeah, that's what came out of it.
It's a bit of an unexpected win. Did you see what happened to Jordan?
I did. We came. We all three of us came up the up Duffus together and came upon a Formula Junior at just the wrong moment. The Formula Junior ran out wide and forced Jordan to lose momentum. And so Matt and I snuck past, and then I think Matt and I ran 2 laps together, and we then came on a Formula Junior at the end of the main straight, and I might have sort of gently squeezed him over in that direction and made a door for myself to come through. So quite a lot of good fortune, but I'll take it as a result.
Yeah, definitely should. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So well done, Matt. P2 finish, but you nearly had first place.
Yeah, I saw Jordan get pushed wide coming out of Duffus and thought that was a bit unfortunate, but quite happy to take first. But yeah, I missed third gear going up Duffus, and then just went by me on the straight, so bit of a shame. Closed in on near the end as well, so.
Well, you've got a good starting position for race 2, so onwards and upwards.
Yes, I finally made a good start this time, so
well, hopefully you can do the same again race 2.
Thank you.
So we're with our third place finisher, but 2019 champion Jordan Gronkowski. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It's not really sunk in. It was, the race itself was a bit of a mess. I think it was always going to be with the juniors. Not so much their fault. They go as fast as they can go. But yeah, from our point of view, I got a brilliant start, got the gap up, things were looking good, and then obviously just through the lappage, stuff happened that possibly shouldn't have happened. But anyway, we are where we are. But it was when I went to see my dad after the race, and obviously everyone's congratulating you in the championship, and you, oh yeah, that was happening. And it just kind of sank in that it's, for us, I mean, it's not about today, it's about the season. It's about the last 20 years, because 20 years ago this year we started karting. It's just something for Dad and me to have a bit of fun at. We've been playing for a while, but we started racing, not really wanting to do anything serious with it, and that snowballed into karting down south and away in England, and that snowballed into racing cars. And to think when that little boy, when he started out, 20 years later you'd be the champion of Scotland is. Yeah, it's quite emotional, so I'll try to stop now before I set myself off again.
And I believe as well as the first Van Diemen to win the championships since 2013, so it's quite a
it's just a nice
mental day.
It's just a nice, as I say, it's not really sunk in, but it's. I have to say, I mean, I've got too much people to thank. I'd be on the rest of the footage all night thanking everybody, but thank you to everybody, and hopefully you know who you are, who supported us right from that, 20 years ago when we started, right up to now. Every sponsor we've had, every help, motivation, little chat I've had, everybody that's helped us from then until now is part of this, and to be we're all Scottish champions together. It's amazing.
It's a shame you've got another race to come up. You can't just go and have a beer now just to celebrate. So I'll let you go and get prepped for race 2, and best congratulations once again.
Right, thanks very much for it. Cheers.
So Tom, you're part of the Formula Junior. Just want to tell us a little bit about your car?
So it's we're a historic racing series, a bit different to some of the modern cars here today. So I was driving a Lotus 2022, which is made in the 1960s, so early 60s. Raced then, so part of a Formula Junior Historic Racing Association, which races the HSCC. But we didn't have a knock-hill meeting this year, so we were keen to the SMRC were kind enough to let us come and take part today. Hopefully not holding up the fast guys in Formula Ford too much though.
And how do you like Knockhill as a track?
Yes, first time for me at Knockhill, and circuit's brilliant. I think a lot of people think, it's a bit shorter, but it's a lot packed into, a small course as it was. So really great fun. Had a great time out there. Yeah.
It's a bit different going anti-clockwise to clockwise. Yeah,
that's it. The anti-clockwise, as I say, first time, so I didn't know any different either way. But a few of the experienced guys were like, hairpin, be careful on the hairpin, because you could go down there and it's not much runoff off one way, and people can shoot across the grass, so you have to be careful going into there. But no, really good. Had a really good day.
Well, congratulations on your podium. I'll see you again.
Cheers. Thank you.
So Vernon, second place finish there. Are you happy with that?
Very happy, yes. First time out in I had one trial with the car, but that's the first time out in a couple of years. So,
and sorry, what car is it that you drive again?
It's a Lynx, which is built in Australia, Formula Junior, built in 1962, 1000cc, unlike all these other lucky men with 1100cc.
That makes all the difference.
Oh, it does. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So you're going to push for a win in race 2?
No, I don't think so. I'll be happy to do the same again. Graham and I were very close. Graham spun and I got past him, and that was good. We're about having fun, and to be close is great news.
Well, congratulations once again, and best of luck for the race 2.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So Graham, third place finish there for you. Good battle.
Yeah, it should have been a little bit closer, but tended to spin a bit. That was the trouble. I had a bit of a spin. So Vern got away, and unfortunately I was by myself then for a while, and then just looking in the mirrors to watch the Formula Ford lads come past, who were pretty quick, and you've got to be careful when they're around. So.
And how do you find the reverse direction track?
Well, I've never been the other way around on it. So it's the first. We came here last year, and it was blowing a hoolie, and the rain was horizontal, and all the rest of it. And we did the same circuit. But I really enjoy the track. It's a great track, and you can bounce it off the curbs, and it's really, really good fun. It's
quite an undulating track.
It's undulating, yes, that's right. Yeah, it was great. Good. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, and best of luck for race 2.
Thank you.
Great work by Fiona Wallace in the post-race interviews, getting the guys on the podium there, and always nice to hear the racing drivers and exactly their take on the situations that we have had on track. Tricky stuff for Jordan Gronkowski in that first race. Yes, you can see he was almost disappointed with not winning the race, but then the realisation kicked in that he is the 2019 Scottish Formula Ford champion. Yeah, it makes it not too bad. You will notice we've got a few empty spaces on the grid there. These guys do have a stagger start as normal. Neil Broom on pole position. Lights on, lights off, away we go. But we don't have Jordan Gronkowski on the grid for this race. I'll take a part in race number 2, so down towards him. We're on board with Logan Hanna just now. With the smart helmet colour scheme that Logan has, he's trying to go up the inside of Matt Chisholm, but unable to. As Neil Broom leads the way through the hairpin and heads on his way towards Clark Corner. The juniors also away with this one. Great to hear from those guys as well after their post-race. Loving being back at Knockhill Racing Circuit. Didn't have a Knockhill this year, so yeah, so back on track and have a bit of fun as the Formula Fords all head over the crest of Clark's, chased by the Formula Juniors, I should say, not Vauxhall Juniors, as they make their way down through Clark Corner past the John Young sign shelter. And oh, somebody going very, very slow there. That looks like it could be number 25 car of Brendan Brock, actually. The Elba 100 going very slow in towards Clark Corner. And somebody else behind him wasn't very quick either. That looked like it was Richard Bishop Miller, RBM, in the Autosport Mark II. But look at this Formula Ford battle as they all arrive onto the main straight. Broom, Chisholm, yes, Logan Hanna, and Stevie B's in this one as well. Steve Barlow, Logan Hanna trying to go around the outside of Matthew Chisholm. Brave as you like, she turns in. Can she? No. Chisholm, absolute gentleman, leaves her just enough room to breathe and do nothing else as they head through embankment, which is Hislopes towards Clark Corner. This is all getting very close behind Neil Broom, and Neil will be loving this actually. Looking in his mirrors, these cars will be getting smaller and smaller as they battle all the way over that quick drive that's been put down there. Robert Boyle dropped in an earlier couple of races. And you can see the marshals have been busy as a floppy goes a-flying from a Broom. And the floppy thankfully goes off track this time though. Through McIntyre's they come. Steve Barlow now right on the back of his teammate Logan Hanna as they climb over the crest of Duffus Dip past the marshals and head towards the hairpin underneath that Beatson's Building Supply Bridge to strike off another lap. But Broom leads from Chisholm, so it's a Ray from a Van Diemen from two Rays, Hanna and Barlow at the back there as we watch them coming through there. It looked like Matthew Chisholm was just getting a bit struggly to stop that car going into the corner, but he actually completely wrong and on board. Young Logan as they head towards Clark Corner. Neil Broom again stretching away, and quite a variation of lines going in there. Each one of those four drivers had a different attack mode for going in towards Clark Corner. That was pretty interesting. Neil Broom using the least of the curb on the way in, and Steve Barlow using the most of the curb as Logan Hanna takes us through the chicane. That was like threading a needle through there, and she attacked that with a whole lot of speed and gusto. That's for sure, as they climb back up through Leslie's, past the marshals once again, and onto the main straight. Now, this circuit, I do believe, and I have to go with this, I think it lets a car with a little bit down on power engine, it just gives it a little bit more of a chance, because you come onto the actual main straight, wound up in around about third gear, and there's only one gear change where, when you go in normal direction, you come at this hairpin in second gear or first gear, and you have a big long hill to climb up. So it's maybe a little bit easier on the engine. As we go back on board now, Logan Hanna, one thing's for sure, gets a challenge to drive as we come towards Clark. They watch her over the curb on the way, and then throws the car at the corner. And Matt Chisholm looking pretty quick in the second place Red Van Diemen just now, as he come down through Clark Corner as well. As we look back further into the pack for the juniors going through. The juniors currently being led by Thomas Anstis, number 173 in the Lotus 2020. Ahead of 77 Vernon Williams, and 4 Graham Barron, with Jeremy Bouckley as well going through there, and Richard Bishop Miller in all sorts of trouble actually in this one. Car not running right at all as the blue flags go flying. The Formula Fords slither their way past. In fact, they don't, they power past, that's what they do. As they go towards the hairpin, you can hear the lockups in the background as the leading Formula Ford cars all arrive at the hairpin. They'll be accelerating out the hairpin, so they should catch the other two Formula Juniors by the time they get to Clark Corner. Such is the pace. These Formula Fords at the front currently lapping in 55.7, 55.8 second laps. These two juniors are going to have their wits about them as up come the leaders. Neil Broom first of all, and what's the best way to attack them? Well, Neil Broom will just attack straight away. As soon as he gets there, he will go past. He will not dilly-dally about, that's for sure. He's quite an aggressive driver, and he's already got his way past through the chicane and Butcher's area. He's got past one. He has lost a little bit of that lead though, because Matt Chisholm has definitely got back up into it. And then Logan Hanna and Stevie B, Steve Barlow flying through this one. Steve Barlow having a great race. And this will do his confidence a whole heap of good. As again, blue flags on the start-finish line. It's car number 4, I think that's Graham Barron getting well out of the way. Look at this as they come in. No, Barlow trying to go around the outside of Logan Hanna, and Logan gives him nowhere to go. put Steve Barlow onto the edge of the curb, never mind the edge of the circuit there. So 2 teammates, all fair in love and war and racing, but definitely not getting through there was Steve Barlow. There's a car in the gravel at Clarksey, we can see it just out of sight there. And that doesn't look like it's too far off the road either, but obviously been there for a couple of laps now. Marshall's happy with it, race control happy on board. Watch the speed of this through the chicane. The camera cuts just away, just at the point we were about to see Logan Hanna going over the crest of the chicane. It really is very tight. You've got to watch, because if you make a mess on the first way in, you usually get bounced from the first curb onto the second curb, and it really does upset the car. Then you've got to try and get the car all gathered back together by the time you get up through Butchers. But look at that, never mind that, we're onto the main straight. We're underneath the Beatson's Boring Supply Bridge. Logan Hanna pops out from the slipstream. They go 3 wide, including a Formula Junior. I keep wanting to say Vauxhall Junior, that's harking back to the touring car days. But unfortunately Logan not able to get past that time. But great driving from this young driver, brand new to Formula Ford. GBR this year. They've got 2 drivers at different ends of the spectrum. They've got the veteran, that's Steve Barlow, who out there enjoys it, and then Logan Hanna, who is just coming from karting and just getting her first year of karting or car racing under her belt and enjoying it, but getting faster and faster and more aggressive every time she sits in that number 9 blue Ray. Having said that though, leading the race, Neil Broom in his 2017 Ray. 1600cc Ford engine in the back of that. Fastest lap just now, 55.7 for Neil Broom. So not the quickest lap, but we've got to put that possibly down to track conditions. A little bit messy around the back there with the quick dry that's been put down. So yeah, lap time's just a little bit off from where they need to be, but 55.7 for Neil Broom. Matthew Chisholm currently lapping in a 55.5. Logan's doing 55.6, but the fastest man on circuit is in 4th place. It's Steve Barlow, 55.5, and that is currently the fastest lap of the race in car number 30. The black grey just off the back of his teammate Logan Hanna, and Logan looks like she was having a bit of a look in the inside there. And Neil Broom is flirting with the edge of the curb there, and disaster. He drops a wheel over that. It will be goodnight Vienna, and he will be back across the track into the grass and inside. So Neil Broom, he's looking for a double victory here this weekend. His first ever double victory it would be at Knockhill Racing Circuit, but he's not getting away with it easily at all, because all over the back of him now are 2nd, 3rd and 4th as they come onto the main straight. Underneath that Beatson's Building Supply Bridge, Neil Broom can just hold this one as they come over the line down towards Hippen, and more Formula Juniors ahead of them as Logan Hanna now thinking about going around the outside of Matt Chisholm, but she's been there before and she knows that doesn't work. She knows that Matthew Chisholm will not force her off the track, but he will take her right to the edge, right to the limit as they head round once again. As we go back on board with the number 9 car. Let's listen to this one. Here just having to wait there, and look at that, Steve Barlow makes a bit of an error going in. Now, was that the slippy stuff that's been kind of dealt with, or was that just an error from Steve Barlow going in? But you could hear Logan couldn't get on the pedal. She was having to wait until the car was through the corner and she'd gathered it all back up and got it settled. That's Thomas Anstis that are about to go past in the Lotus 2020. He stays well out of the way as the leaders charge past, going through at the top of Duffy's Dip. Neil Broom on his tail. Chisholm pops out from the slipstream, but he's not going to have enough legs as they come over the crest of the hill and head towards the hairpin. And Logan Hanna sees that happening, and here she goes. She launches an attack. She tries to go around the outside, but all Matthew Chisholm has to do there is release a little bit of brake pressure and try and run his competitor wide in the apex of the corner, which he did and perfected that move. Heading towards Clarks again. Look at this, on board again. Logan looking up inside. That's not really an overtaking place there. She wasn't close enough. She's too far. Steve Barlow makes another lock up as he goes over the crest of Clarks. And Thomas Anstis in the number 173 car gets a whole face full of, that was close, face full of smoke there. That was very close for Logan Hanna, and that has effectively obliterated the pack as Neil Broom then makes a mistake at McIntyre's, and that's going to bring Matthew Chisholm back in towards it. But Logan Hanna very, very lucky to get away with not collecting that the Formula Junior, or a Vauxhall Duncan, as they go over the crest of the line again. Great stuff from Neil Broom this. He's controlling it at the front, but he does keep making a few little errors, and that will be starting to annoy him. And Matthew Chisholm will be seeing this and just thinking, just one more, just give me another little opportunity to get on your gearbox and I will have you. As the top 3 head towards Clark Corner, Steve Barlow, that mistake at Clark a couple of laps ago, has drifted off the back. Effectively has taken himself out of the running of this one. for a podium spot. Anyway, you can see the understeer for Logan Hannah as she comes through there. Understeer in mid-corner and the car heading out towards the exit curb as they come through the chicane. Neil Broom this time needs to make it error-free through this whole area. And that's a lot better through McIntyre's. This time he was just wide the last time. And he'll see a junior in front of him and he'll remember exactly what happened to Jordan GRONKOWSKI in the first race as they come over the crest of Duffus. He doesn't want to lift, and it's number 4. It's Graham Barron who stays out the way this time. Didn't really have much in the way of a choice, to tell you the truth. The last lap board flies for the Formula Ford guys and the juniors as they go in towards the hairpin. And it's this lap or never for Matthew Chisholm and Logan Hannah. What can she do? Has she got anything left under that engine cover of that Ray as they head towards Clark Corner for the final time of asking? We've seen Neil Broom make a couple of kind of sketchy moments going through. The track looks a little bit slick as they come in. Logan just showing herself in the mirrors towards Matthew Chisholm, but Chisholm not really interested in what he sees behind him. He's only got eyes fixed to the back of that grey number 3 Ray as they head down towards the chicane. Over the chicane they come. Left and right, down the hill, then back up left and towards Butchers, and then another left into McIntyre's, and another junior ahead. This is not what Neil Broom wants to be seeing as he comes through the right-hander of Leslie's. He has to position this perfectly. He comes onto the main straight. Chisholm is loving this. It's car number 77, Vernon Williamson. There's a drag race to the line, over the crest, side by side as they go over the crest of the hill. It's going to be Neil Broom by less than a tenth of a second. Neil Broom wins that race, 0.019. Matthew Chisholm comes home in second place. Logan Hannah, with a grandstand view of that, comes home third. Steve Barlow comes home with the fastest lap of the race and a fine 4th place. He will be delighted with that one.
Just catching up on the Formula Juniors as well. First place for them, Thomas Anstis, Vernon Williamson.
Well done, Logan. P3 finish there. Reverse direction seems to suit you.
Yeah, I prefer it so much more because it does sort of level the playing field with the minimal running time you guys get on the reverse, especially for myself, not driving the normal way around as much as some of the other drivers. But I like the heavy braking and the just sort of holding on and going of the reverse more than anything.
You were right on the tail of Matt Chisholm for a few laps. I thought you were going to get him, but you must have been caught up with the juniors at one point.
I know, it was like every lap, it was like he'd be going for Neil and then I'd be right behind him, but then he'd cover the inside because he knew that I'd be there. So I'd like try the outside, or there was 1 or 2 times we were side by side, but then there'd be a junior there and I'd have to like pull out, and I'm like, I just want to get past. But there's not very many overtaking spots this way round, and it's easier to defend going this way round as well. And with the oil on the track at Clark's, I was like, there's no point risking it. I'm quite happy where I'm sitting at the moment, and I know that Steve was right behind me as well, so I was like watching that and trying to keep going that way.
Sounds like you had a busy race.
I know, it was lots of fun. It was an awful lot of fun. I didn't think that having the juniors out there would make it as interesting, but it definitely did, especially because we were all like the top 3 or the top 4 at least were all so close together.
It was a really good battle to watch. At one point I was like, who's where now? I didn't really know, but it was a really good race to watch, so well done.
Especially over the end, because Neil and Chisholm were like literally side by side. There was all 3 of us almost over the line at once. It was all of us going for it.
It was a really good battle to watch, yeah. So congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Well done, Matt. Another P2 finish there. I think you tried every single move under the sun to try and get past Neil.
Yeah, he just got a bit of the legs down the straight, and then right at the end, 0.019 at the end. But he was held up by one of the juniors at the last lap, so it's probably just for him to take the win in the end.
I think it was one of the widest Formula Fords I've ever seen with him in front.
It definitely was, yeah. And then had Hannah as well fighting behind, and it was like, oh.
So you're trying to look forward and defend as well. Yeah. Pretty hard job for you then.
It was a bit difficult, yeah, but second place.
You'll take that.
I'll take that, yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
You must be delighted with that. That was a thrilling race to be part of.
Absolutely, that was all good. I'm very grateful to Logan for keeping Matt off me. So I think probably in that race he had the legs if given a free run. But right up until the last lap, it all went my way, and then very, very nearly managed to throw it away. Meeting one of the Formula Juniors was very nearly what happened to Jordan in the first race. And I think in the end I did him by 19 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, it was nothing in it at all.
But I could see him coming past, and I was jumping up and down in the car, just willing every last bit of acceleration out of it. But yeah, no, that's 2 wins in a day. That's I think that's my best result ever.
So we're celebrating tonight?
Certainly. It also happens to be my anniversary, so I think we'll have us tea out tonight.
I think you should.
Thank you very much.
Well done.